They said the bastion was eternal. Built before Earth had even cooled from its formation, the Zalari stronghold orbited the dying red giant Tython in solemn, arrogant defiance of time. Its walls were fused neutron alloys, its halls mapped with stellar gravimetric locks. No siege, virus, or diplomacy had breached it in a million years. It was the unshakable heart of a people who believed themselves immune to change. Until a human stepped through its front gate and smiled. It began with tragedy. A human-aid ship, marked with neutral beacons and peace banners, was shot down near Zalari territory. The official records claimed a mistake. The charred remains of 20 children and 7 volunteer medics said otherwise. The Terran Accord, still young and fragile, sent emissaries. The Zalari refused them. They had no need for apologies, nor guilt, nor justice. Only walls. And so the Accord did the impossible. It sent a human, not a warrior, not a general, but a linguist named Eva Song. No armor, no weapons, just a satchel of notebooks, a translator implant, and a stubborn soul. She walked alone into the storm barrier that guarded the bastion, and did not flinch when the atmosphere screamed against her skin. They let her in out of curiosity. She was small, fragile, already dying from exposure. What could she do? She bowed. She wept. She spoke. And for the first time in eons, the bastion heard grief not forged into weaponry, but sung. I don't ask for reparations, she said, or even understanding. I came to show you what your walls could never keep out. They mocked her at first. Their leaders, plated in ceremonial blackstone, called her a wind that thought it could shift a mountain. You will die here, one said. Alone. Eva smiled sadly. I was never alone. She showed them drawings made by the lost children. Stick figures, space whales, silly alien guesses with too many limbs and giant eyes. Your people burned these, she said. But I remember every line. She taught them the names of the fallen. Not ranks. Not statistics. Names whispered like lullabies. She sang their favorite songs. And the walls, so long untouched by warmth, listened. One young Zalari archivist lingered. His name was Zirith. He had been born inside the bastion and never once seen a sunrise. When Eva showed him a video of children dancing in Terran spring rain, he flinched. Why would they move like that? He asked. To feel alive, she said. I don't understand. You're not meant to. You're meant to feel it. He watched again. And again. On the 5th day, Eva collapsed. Lung damage. Radiation sickness. Dehydration. Zirith panicked. No, he muttered. She cannot die. Not like this. He broke protocol. Rushed her to a medical ward. Fed her filtered air. And held her hand through the night. The council protested. She is a contaminant. Her presence weakens us. But Zirith stood before them, trembling. She reminds us we are already weakened, because we feel nothing. One of the oldest counselors whispered, We were built this way. The bastion was forged to keep the universe out. Zirith raised his chin. And yet a single heartbeat snuck in. The next day, Eva woke up. Saw Zirith beside her. Smiled through cracked lips. You stayed. I listened, he whispered. More Zalari came. Not to interrogate. To hear. She told stories. Of Earth's burning cities and reborn forests. Of forgiveness after war. Of humans who lost everything and still learned to laugh again. Why do you laugh? A scholar asked. Because sorrow becomes unbearable if it's never shared. The bastion trembled. Not from bombs. From memory. Zirith accessed ancient files, hidden even from himself. There, in the early formation years, he found records of his own people weeping. Loving. Singing. Before the walls. Before the fear. They had buried that part of themselves to survive a cataclysm. But survival had turned to isolation. Isolation to silence. And now a voice broke through. Eva's voice. One morning, she painted on a corridor wall. Not symbols. Not code. Just handprints. Her own. Then she handed Zirith the brush. You first. His hand hovered. Then pressed. Then others joined. Scientists. Soldiers. Children. The bastion's walls, once etched only in stone and code, began to bloom with color. The council ordered it stopped. But the command was ignored. Because it was too late. The walls were breached. Not by force. By connection. By heart. When Eva died weeks later, surrounded by both Terrans and Zalari, she was smiling. I told you, she whispered. Hearts break walls. They did not bury her. They planted a garden in the central hall, where nothing had ever grown. But now, with the heat of shared memory and mourning, the seeds she carried bloomed. And the bastion, once timeless, still, and silent, became a home again. A place not just of strength, but of feeling. They opened the gates, for the first time in eons, and across the stars word spread. The walls held for 1,000,000 years, but a single human heart ended them in days.